Hey, Laura J here to say we got updates today. Very exciting. I am en route to yoga and I have left early so that I do not pull a yesterday where I showed up 3 minutes into class and the doors were locked, and so I was kind of just waiting in the shoe section. And then Cynthia came in, so she let me go into the hot room very quietly and set up a mat at the back as quietly as a mouse as what I could. And so yay, I got to go yesterday. Very grateful, and I don't take that for granted, and I learned the lesson, so I am going early so that I am not inconveniencing anyone else by my delayed departure from home. And so on that note, what I will say is that today I did also get the call to say that my books are ready to be printed, and what I need to do is actually delay the process of offering it to everyone, because I have some copies that are going to come to me where I can sign them and then distribute them myself. So that being said, it is going to be 2 months longer than anticipated, but we're going to have some fun things going on in the lead up to it. So I would love for you to be part of the pre-launch crew. I need to do quite a lot in order to make it even more fun for you, and do some workshops, workbook, and really make it applicable, because in it I share the high rise of emotional awareness, which is about emotional resilience and really understanding how to make friends with your emotions so that no longer can our denials be used against us, which is incredibly important within all of life and in the law, which is why I've also broke down the hierarchy of creation and broke down some of the lawful insights that I have learned in the year plus while dealing with the summons of my person for an implied charge I've not consented to. They've not gained jurisdiction over me, though they claim to have, by moving this false claim in a public court against me, who has claimed the right to be a woman in my private capacity with all common law rights reserved at all times. So I'm going in to gather evidence in the trial on October 31st, which is also written in the book. So I have more details to be able to gather so that I can get those for you and have you be part of the process. But what I want to do is actually make this as applicable as possible to your life, which was always the intention, to use my own lived experience in order to say, I am not special. I've just been through a lot, because I have a way of going into the mine to find the lessons within the experience that I took to the quarry and mined over time. And because I was willing to do that, ultimately we can all benefit from the lessons, which is to stop letting religions divide and conquer us from the inside and outside. And by religions, I simply mean whatever legion of BS belief systems you subscribe to, that you scribe under, well, that becomes the way that we believe that we are falsely divided. And so I say a hue is just one aspect of the man, and we need to know how to stand on claims that we have lawfully made against any man or woman we can see, for no entity will be able to stand face to face against us when they try to misplace us or displace us from our homes in order to become prisoners to a system designed to save itself through us and the energetic resources we give it, through the power that we give by making outer authorities, the authors we tie our identity to. All of these things I have written in the book called Fully Committed, The Sacred Sojourn of Now, which also actually breaks down the sacred sojourn of the soul, which is the hero's journey from a soulful and sacred perspective. Another exciting teaching that I have included is what I call active choice point theory, which is where we can either do what we've always done to get what we've always got, or we can go into a new creative reality that's going to allow us to change how we respond instead of react, and understanding the creative differences in that process compared to reacting, which is just doing the same thing expecting different results, which is what Einstein defined as insanity, also referenced in the books. There is a lot of quotable material in it. I am so looking forward to being able to really dig into it deeper now that the first big scary part of it is out of the way. 555 was on the license plate opposite me in that moment, which is so significant because whenever you see, as I often say, but maybe this is one of your first videos, and if so, I'd appreciate your like, subscribe, click the notification button so that you actually understand or know that I am going live when I do, because I will be doing more of it. The buffalo is on my right, which is the only animal that actually runs into a storm and then is able to emerge to the other side and see the rainbows and the clear skies while everyone else tries to outrun the storm, which is symbolic for our destiny, which was also written in the book. So I was saying 555 as symbolism, which in The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, I highly recommend that work. It's a fable about a boy who follows his dream, as I have done and you will have been able to see. I wanted to make it rhyme because that is how I like to go. So I simply wanted to say, that in The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho says that the universe communicates to us through sign symbols, omens. And the 555 in the license plate opposite, which is all about change, if you look up the number 5 and then multiply how many times it actually shows, it simply reflects the fact that who knows what is trying to say. Change is on the horizon, my friend. And I always have associated 555 with Archangel Michael, though I am really trying to figure out how all of the angels and archangels and all of the entities outside of us that so often we call to or pray to and then become energetic prey to, how they actually serve us when we do. I'm really still working through all of that, because what my Moon Key writes, shaman woman Karina Cho, who is amazing, 444 there, woo! She had actually said that if you are wanting some assistance, divine assistance, instead of calling on God, grand overall designer, creator of all that is, angels, guides, all of these outer entities, which so oftentimes can be hard to discern what they're showing up with the intention of, sometimes to burn us and other times to help us in phoenixing ourselves so we can rise from the ashes of our own transformation. 222, seriously, in the view, if you look, when you are in the flow, you will know, because the signs, symbols, and omens will absolutely show up opposite you. And Karina had said that instead of calling on all of that, instead what we can do is actually call on our own highest self, who can then call in divine assistance and make sure that it is of the greatest and highest, because the greatest and highest aspect of us, which could be said to be the God spark in us, that actually is being evoked, not invoked. Or maybe it is. Evoke, invoke, devoke. What is the yoke that we are willing to stroke? Fools despise wisdom and instructions. Proverbs, that's what the church message says. So I encourage you to take all of what I have just shared. 333 is opposite me. 55 was the license plate right before that. I'm telling you, if you listen to the signs, symbols, and omens. They will absolutely guide you and help you know that you are in harmony with the grand overall design of this entire reality, which is realistic evidence appearing legit in tomorrow's yesterday, which is what this present now moment is, if we are willing to dare to believe that maybe there is something greater at play than what we can see with our own two eyes. And then we must realize that it is not about seeing it to believe it, is it about believing it to see it, because we are that powerful. And the first time we see something is not with these eyes, but with the inner eye that actually guides us the whole time, if we are willing to find the lessons that are there for us, if we are willing to open all three eyes, not just the two we can see. So I hope all of this has resonated for you, which is simply meaning it vibrates as truth. I clear the air because in that moment I wanted to say the gas station was 199.9, which is a whole lot of nines. And then I decided maybe not. Just inflation is a big pain in the gas. Oh, funny. Haha. Woo, honey, what do you think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. And please also know that what you like is a reflection of what is resonant. There was more 3 2s, a series of them. Yo, my God. Oh, the divine. Grand overall designer, creator of all that is. Think of it this way. This is my BS. Take it or leave it. Work with it, change it, whatever you want to do. But if you want to think about the creator of all, what is all but all things, right? So if it is all, it does not exclude anything, right? So would that not mean that whether you call the creator of all that is energy, source, creator, God, Allah, whatever name you put on it, I clear my throat to just let it be what she wrote, except for didn't, because once it is written, that is when it is dead and no longer changeable. It is rigid. It is contracted to the state that it was when it was written. We, as men and women, can make agreements. An entity which needs to convert the man or woman into an entity that it can contract with and contract it, us, into something other than we originally were. It can only contract. Men and women can make agreements. Men and women are then converted into something less than we are to think that it made us into something more. And then that is when the entity can contract with the one willing to conform our substance into the forms that we will be formed by under the Mental Health Act, such as I was in 2019, which I speak of quite thoroughly in the book because it took so much for me to get over without buying the BS of the stigmas of one who has been labeled as bipolar, though I don't include that in the book because I do believe we live in a universe of polarity with equal and opposites to everything, which mean our emotions are supposed to be extreme. It is only when we are in a contracted state that we try to numb and not go so high or low. So I don't speak into the bipolar diagnosis that I was given after the psychosis or psychotic episode that I was deemed to have been in at the time when I made the call to say to the police, the system's corrupt and they're in on it. And then I got locked up for 2.5 weeks, where I learned things are not what it seems to be or that we were taught. And furthermore, if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. And then when my person was summoned for an alleged or implied offense that I have not consented to as a woman who knows that I am not my person, nor do I consent to being surety for it, which is also very, very important. For if you look up the definition of surety, you will see why that is not in our best interest to be implied to be surety, which we will be until we say otherwise or claim otherwise. What I learned when my person was summoned is believes that if we don't claim our rights and then stand on those rights, have a go, it said on the license plate. If we don't try, we will be denied. One of the maxims of law is ignorance of the law is no excuse. So, there is a lot of information. You may want to replay this one, for I do believe that there is a wealth of information and sight from within that I have gained from my lived experience because I am a player on the field roughing it in this country. Rough country was opposite me. So just learn to play with your environment as it shows up. And when other people may say, whoa, you're crazy, say, damn right. But you know what? Damn right. What is a dam? We see that beavers build it, right? Well, we are Canadian, so hey, there we go. But seriously, god damn it, when I had the drop a couple weeks ago that god damn it is actually saying grand overall designer block the flow, god damn it, then we see how, we just need to know who and whose we are, and to say that all includes everything, excluding nothing. Therefore, the creator of all created us equally under the eyes of the Lord, which is not an L-O-R-D. It is an L-A-W apostrophe D, for one who has come to understand, stand under, and understand the universal laws. That is one who has become a Lord of their own life, because they are able to wield their word as a sacred sword to either cut them free or keep them bound in captivity under an entity that would try to deny who and whose we are in order to have us be converted into something created by something we created, and then we would then be owned by the one that created the term we fell under because we didn't understand the importance of standing, which only a man or woman can do. Everything else is a status, which makes us less thinking we are more. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Laura J. Namaste. Namago for today.